Hey guys, uh, hope you really enjoyed our STD talk. It was great. Um, so let's get back to these. I am not going to ask you about basically slides 48 through uh, 52. I'm not going to ask you about the mitosis, meiosis, and the nuclei and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start at 53. Um, yeah. So let's go ahead. All right, so this is just kind of like their breakdown here. So we're in phylum Ciliophoria. The common name are ciliates. The body plan is single-celled and it has cilia. The motility is they're moved by cilia. They are heterotrophs, and the representative genera are parameciums. So, like, you can call them all parameciums, but Ciliophoria makes it a little bit more uh, simplified, I guess, or narrowed. Yes. All right. So the phylum, and so this one right here, all the ones before that, until we came to another slide that just looked like this, that was the breakdown for that. Okay. All right. So phylum, Apicomplexia includes at least 4,000 species that have an adult form with no means of locomotion. So basically, they don't have any motility. Many were once known as sportozoans, and all are animal parasites. So they're all parasites in animals. Apicomplexians have complex life cycles involving both asexual and sexual reproductions. The reproduction often results in the formation of sporozoites. They are infectious cells that are protected by a resistant coat. They are characterized by an apical complex, a group of organelles specialized to enter host cells or tissues. Since they're parasites, they have to have a host cell, basically. Because of their complex life cycle, many apicomplexians require two or more different hosts to complete their life cycle. So this one right here is Plasmodium vivax in Mayon and in the mosquitoes. So you can see that it basically goes through all this way. Sorry, this one right here. So it goes through uh, mosquitoes and then it goes into man basically. So, all right, as apicomplexians inhabit a host cell, the apicomplexians absorb nutrients and destroy host cells. Apicomplexians may have killed more people than any other group of pathogens on Earth. These right here are red blood cells, and so these are burst red blood cells, and these have parasites inside of them. Apicomplexians form the genus Plasmodium, cause malaria from the genus Plasmodium, and they cause malaria, which gives you severe chills, headache, fever, and fatigue. And each year, nearly 3 million people die from malaria. Remember, the biggest country that has malaria is Africa. And remember, if you have the trait of sickle cell, you have some protection from malaria. But if you have sickle cell, there's no protection for that. All right, so these right here are the burst cells. There's a mosquito sucking blood. Look at that. 4 species of Plasmodium that infect humans have a life cycle involving the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Anopheles mosquito. All right, sporozoites enter the bloodstream and infect the liver. New cells called Merozytes emerge from the liver and infect red blood cells. At regular intervals, they burst from the red blood cells and release the toxins. So that was what those pictures were with the red blood cells. So this one right here, see, CDC, always go to them. You can see a whole bunch of different things. So this is what it's doing to the liver right here. To the liver. This is the human liver stages. Sorry, mosquito stages, and then you've got your human blood stages. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that it does right here. All right, some mesocytes in the blood develop into the sexual form of the parasite gametophysis. Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, and the gametes are ingested. They form gametes, which combine to form zygotes that develop into more sporocytes. So remember, gametes are like they're basically like the sex cells, and then they become a zygote. So basically, this is how they reproduce and stuff. So you can see here, with the mosquito right here, will go, and the sporocytes migrate to the salivary gland on a mosquito. And then here's your oocytes, your oocyst, which burst, and then it grows right here. And then you can see that it attaches to the gut and becomes an oocyst. Fertilized female gamete forms a zygote, which becomes an ookinete. So again, this is what happens in a mosquito. And then it waits for their mosquito, and then this is what happens in the liver. All right, so here, so you've got your gametes right here, and you become a zygote, and then here's your oocyst, and then these little sporites here in the salivary gland, and then basically they'll burst open, and then all of this will keep going, and that's where it starts to really hurt the human, and this is it going into the liver. So see, they had to make the babies or eggs, I guess, and then they go into the liver. Another amyocomplexan, Toxoplasma gondii, causes few symptoms in healthy adults, but can be dangerous to developing fetuses. This one right here, pregnant women are not supposed to change kitty litter because of the cat's feces could have toxoplasmosis in it. So I still use this on my husband now. I tell him I'm still susceptible to this. Don't tell him. He still changes to kitty litter. Okay. So the stats on this. Oh, look at that timing. Okay. All right, the stats are apicomplexia. The common name is apicomplexians. They are still single-celled. They have motile sporozytes. Okay, their motile sporozytes are immobile adults. The sporozytes are basically motile, but the adults are not. The nutrition type is they are parasites, which means they have to get their nutrition from other places. And the representative genera is Plasmodium.